My name is Daniela Candillari, and I'm the conductor for Grounded. In Grounded, there are moments of jazz, there are a lot of blue notes, there are moments of Nashville groove that happen quite early on. There are these also expansive harmonies that are usually orchestrated throughout the entire orchestra. There are moments of sort of military ceremonial brass music that always punctuate a character or a scene. There are moments of folk music or what sounds like American folk music. Jeanine has this incredible way of constructing music and using the orchestra and the music as architecture in which characters in the story can play and really take the audience with them on a journey. Every character, I would say, has a theme or a motive that comes apparent. The first one, and the one that I like to think about most as a sort of seed of the entire opera, is this interval of major second that shows up with the chorus for the first time. In the first scene, we meet the chorus who are singing about Jess and to Jess. One of the elements they have is the sentence, "You are," that always goes a major step up. That moment sort of defines the opera, because either it's talking about Jess or later it gets augmented and it talks about Jess's feeling when she's up in the air. So the first time we hear Jess sing an aria, it actually starts with the exact same motive that has been now expanding to the entire orchestra in a different tonality and a different key. This motive that at moments has this incredible possessive quality can also have an element of complete freedom and openness, and I feel like we can literally feel the blue and what feeling it must be being in the sky. I think every scene and every character, as I mentioned, has an incredible emotional quality. So, for instance, when we hear Eric for the first time, when we actually get to Eric's farm in Wyoming, there is almost this Copland-esque quality that is very natural. It's very pastoral sounding. There's strings played, this motive that sounds like wind moving, which is what Eric is talking about. There's also later in his first aria, when he talks about Jess and meeting her, there's also this moment of oboes and clarinets playing triplets underneath that are supposed to be like what it feels like being on a horse. Haven't been on one, so I don't know what that feeling is like. But it's incredibly descriptive and incredibly picturesque music. Every character has their own real unique actions, I guess, as well in the music. So when we meet the commander, for instance, who is Jess's boss, essentially, the way that he delivers lines is on one pitch, and his authority also comes through playing with the range of his voice. This is Morris Robinson. Playing with the range of his voice, so it commands that authority. When we meet Eric, there's this moment that comes in his music quite often throughout the opera that is like a lullaby, and the first time we hear it is when he's singing it to their daughter. So Eric has a little bit gentler writing than Jess, somebody who is completely outgoing and who is used to just having no boundaries in a way. Their vocal writing sort of complements each other the moment they start coming together. The role of censor, played by Kyle Miller, is the first time we see him. He has this mini aria that almost sounds like a rap song or sort of a headbanging piece in a band, in a nightclub. So every character is definitely defined by their vocal writing and their specific musical language. There's a moment that is really quite impactful and really strong, and it's the first time when Jess is in the trailer. Her censor hands her the headset for the kill chain command to give her commands of what she's to do now, flying a drone, essentially. And the music starts with this 5/8 pattern, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's the sound that Jess is hearing through the headset. So there's almost this cacophony, almost this confusion that she's getting through the headset. That same motive gets augmented again a little bit later when we see the censor and Jess again looking through the monitors. And because of the orchestration, it starts with cello. It creates this incredible stillness, but also sort of a constancy that is almost not moving. So it creates this incredible emotion of boredom, which is what Jess and Sensor experience at this time was when they're looking through camera and just following actions in the sand. In Grounded, we're really dealing with a Puccini-sized orchestra with extra instruments. So we have triple winds, which means 2 flutes, third one is double and piccolo, 2 oboes, English horn, 2 clarinets, bass clarinet, 2 bassoons, contrabassoon, and then the brass complement is sort of standard romantic, 4 horns, 3 trumpets, 2 tenor trombones, 1 bass trombone, tuba. We have a harp, we have piano as well, that uses different materials to pluck the strings at times or to hit them with the super ball mallet. We also have a complement of strings. The other exciting part is the large percussion battery. We have 3 percussion stations plus timpani. And in percussion, it's a really big family of percussion instruments. There's a xylophone, marimba, glockenspiel, finger cymbals, bass drum, snare drum, and so on. So with orchestra, we haven't started working yet. I meet the orchestra for the first time next week, so next Wednesday. One of the exciting things about conducting opera is that the orchestra cannot live without singers, and singers cannot live without the orchestra. So I really find that trade-off between the stage and the pit incredibly exciting. I think one feeds off the information to each other. And yeah, that's where we are right now. We've been working with singers, and it's been really great to work with every one of our singers, to hear their ideas and to hear their dramatic intentions and to hear also the dramatic choices and musical choices that they're making, and then to have conversations as to why they're making certain choices and how that informs music and dynamics and colors of harmonies and sort of how that shapes the piece, essentially. It's been really great. I remember hearing Emily for the first time in 21 in a rehearsal, actually. And I just sort of remembered her name and her sound. So it's been really great getting to work with her on a role that she's also creating. She's a beautiful artist, beautiful singer. She brings honesty, so it's been wonderful. Oh, the must-see moments. I mean, I think every moment is really, really special. I think how we meet Jess with the chorus of soldiers around her is very unique, and her vocal writing sort of starts from this male-dominated chorus, and it lifts us off into her first aria. There is a beautiful moment in her first aria. Again, it's another motive that keeps on showing up at different times through the opera. And it's played in the piano. It's extremely romantic, extremely evocative. And at that point, Jess is talking about home and blue, and essentially feeling at home when she's up in the air and when she has that feeling of freedom. But also when we see Jess take her pregnancy test, that's the same music that underlines that action, and it takes on a completely different turn. So Jess talks about home as something that is very different than what she's been experiencing. Every single scene is structured in such a beautiful way that it really takes the character on a journey and to the next action. So I really think the audience is going to enjoy the entire evening with many, many memorable moments in between.